So there's this very interesting report published by NBC News Online, which quotes the findings of a study done over a period of 10 years on social media engagement by children and adolescents. So what are the things that parents should watch out for? And I read through the findings, and there are 2 or 3 points that I find extremely important for parents to note, and I want to share them with you. The first important thing that I understood from that report is that for children below 13 years old, say 12 and under, if they are engaging on social media, parents are required to sit with them. They have to be guided through the process. So you're sitting with the child when the child is exploring the internet, talking through the process. That's the healthy way of doing it. Leaving the child with the device to explore on their own for children below 13 for a prolonged period of time is not advisable according to this report. So parents have a responsibility there. However, for children above 12 years of age, for teenagers, that will not work. Teenagers, of course, want their privacy. So what are you supposed to do then? Now, this report says there you have no choice but to give them that freedom. Now, if you've been a parent who've already done the process of sitting with them through the years before they turn a teenager, you are in a good position. But even if you haven't, and you've just come across this now, you have no option but to give the teenager that freedom. However, there can be a cutoff time, a mutually agreed, a consensual cutoff or a deadline for social media engagement or digital engagement. And there can be a designated place in the house where all devices have to be kept after a certain point, and it has to apply to the parents as well. That's the ideal way. So I'm just reading this part out for all of you. Age affects how well certain strategies work. In younger children 12 and under, a family policy that restricts social media, except when it is actively guided by a parent, seems to reduce the risk of problematic use and inappropriate behavior online. But in adolescents 13 and older, overly restrictive, confiscating and controlling parenting rules, like confiscating a phone for punishment, are often associated with that teenager taking more risks online. So what this means essentially is that punishing a teenager by confiscating the device, etc., or any such harsh measures used may be counterproductive. It may push the teenager to actually take more risks online and more risky behavior because they know that they only have a limited window to engage on social media. So it might drive them to take certain risks online. So confiscation, harsh measures for teenagers as a punishment for over engaging on social media is not advisable. The other important point that I took from this report is that when a teenager is just mindlessly scrolling, that of course is not healthy. But if a child or a teenager or an adolescent is posting, say, clips of his or her own creativity or talent, that is supposed to be a healthy outlet. So in fact, that can even be encouraged. Like if a child is pursuing music or arts, and if there are certain parts of it which the child wants to showcase online, that can actually be encouraged. That can become a motivation, and that is not harmful. So it says the ways social media is used seem to make a difference. When a teenager passively scrolls as opposed to actively posting, that's connected by many studies to low life satisfaction and feelings of sadness, it may be that showcasing a hobby or an interest on social media doesn't produce the same harms. So that is again an important point to note, that not everything is harmful. One cannot have a sweeping generalization in that manner. There are certain things that can be healthy as well when it comes to engaging on social media. And the third point which I found is useful, and this is directed towards parents particularly, that if you are somebody who's constantly scrolling and you are seen by your children or by your teenage kids as someone who's always engaged on your device, scrolling through content, then that culture sets in. So as a parent, you have that responsibility as well, not to be seen constantly mindlessly scrolling through your device. And even if you have to do it, you can do it in private and not when the children are milling around. So that is a healthy advice, I think, for parents as well.